Hello, everyone. How you doing? This is Basile with a pinch of basil. I am your host. We took a little bit of a break from a pinch of basil, didn't we, gang?
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, we came back. It was a little bit of a pain. I'll tell you what, between the hurricane and between all the issues that we had electronically here at my office, issues that we wound up having back and forth. And, I'll tell you what, Greg, with his ingenuity, got a brand new computer. We can now stream on Facebook live. Believe it or not, we are heard online at americamatters.us and on the TuneIn app from your phone or tablet. My God, what was that? Was that an animal? Was that a Tasmanian devil? Okay.
That was an engineer who had his mic open.
Well, evidently, and that's amazing because the engineer literally, I guess, took a page from, some movie back in the 70s where his head actually spun around and he spit out pea soup. Who knew? Okay, so anyway, what was that movie? Was it The Exorcist?
The Exorcist,
yes.
And yes, a friend of mine, Linda Blair.
Is she a friend of yours?
Yes.
Really? Do you know I could not sleep in my bed for roughly 3 months?
That was a scary movie at the time, wasn't it?
It was.
It really was.
I slept in front of my mother and father's bed for 3 months, which, I didn't know I was a form of birth control. But evidently, my mom and dad were like, you have your own bed, kid. Can't you get to your bed? And I'm like,
get in it.
not so much. No, I really don't want to get in my bed, to be quite honest with you. And the funny thing is the priest that was there was a Greek priest, but he was a Jesuit priest that he played. And it was like, you'd think you'd have a Greek Orthodox priest. If you're a Greek guy, you should be a Greek Orthodox priest. But oh no, he was a Jesuit. And I'm like, well, this makes sense. That's where the movie went to hell, right from the beginning.
Oh, there you go. There you go. But only if you're Greek did you know that, see?
Oh, yeah. Very, very true.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, not that Greeks can't be part of different faiths. I mean, we have Greek Jews. Oh my God, I got a funny story. Do I have time to tell this story?
Yeah, you have time. Go ahead.
Okay,
Fire
listen.
away.
So there were these two academics, and they went to this Greek restaurant, and they were discussing things about everything that was going on, and then they discussed Greece, and all of a sudden they wind up seeing this Greek waiter and says, sir, can you come here for a minute? And they go, can we ask you a question? He goes, yeah, sure, anything. He says, do you have any Greek Jews? He goes, I'll be right back, I find out. About 3 minutes later, a guy comes back and goes, no, we have no Greek Jews. He says, you got to be kidding me. Are you sure you don't have any Greek Jews? He goes, all right, I come back. Guy goes back. 2 minutes later, he comes back. No, I'm telling you, we have no Greek Jews. He goes, there's got to be Greek Jews here. He goes, look, I go one more time. He goes back to the kitchen, comes back a minute later, says, sir, we have no Greek Jews. We have orange juice, grapefruit juice. We have, any type of cranberry juice. Boom, boom. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So,
oh, my goodness.
One of my favorite jokes, and you know who told it to me? It was funny. It was a rabbi that told that to me years ago, and he made me laugh so hard. I thought it was hysterical. Anyway, we are back, and listen, for those of you, you can call in at 844-790-8255. That is 844-790-8255. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Janice Hersman. Janice, how you been? We're getting ready for Thanksgiving. We're broadcasting from wherever I'm at. Janice will be in Reno. She's always in Reno. I'm the one who's all over the place.
That's right.
And it's in the next few weeks we're gonna have some really amazing guests. This week we have movie director, author, and former rabbi Herb Fried.
I wonder if he's heard that joke before.
Oh my God, he may have. He may have been the one who told me. For God's sakes,
Maybe.
He is the New York area. He just came out with his new novel in stores right now. Love, Faith, and a Pair of Pants. He will be on the last half hour of our show, and you don't want to miss this. This is going to be a really fantastic show. And it's just been a little bit. It's been a little bit hectic for me, Janice.
I can hear that. You sound like you're still running. You haven't stopped.
I haven't stopped. I came back from Australia. Australia was just simply awesome. I did a show there, and for those people who are watching right now, hey everyone from Oz, I love you guys. We had fantastic shows in Sydney. We had fantastic shows in Melbourne. We had fantastic shows over in wonderful Adelaide. Even Wollongong. The Wollongongians, they love me over there. It's
I don't know anything about Australia. So which side of the country the
If you're looking at a map, it's basically everything from the southern portion going up the eastern seaboard. You'll see Melbourne, Sydney, Wollongong, and then down south, in a place called Adelaide, you'll see Adelaide as a southernmost tip before you go into Tasmania, which is also part of Australia as well. And my fans there we did a little teaser tour to see how things go, and things went through the roof. So I've been very, very, very blessed to be part of that, and it's been wonderful. It really has.
That's great. When I was 15, my father threatened my mother that we were going to move to Australia, and she said he was going by himself. So I stayed in America.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, what's not to love about Australia?
I was going for it.
Yeah, it's really a beautiful country. Believe it or not, the country is as big as ours. You could probably just barely fit the United States in there, but I'll tell you what, man, there's only about 23 to 24 million people there, and about 10% of the people are Greek, and it was always fantastic. And I got so much things to talk to you about. I got news about Amazon. I got news about I hit my first deer. I hit a deer with my car. Oh my God! But listen, folks, we're gonna basically take a small. Do we have time? It's time for a break, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You only got about 30 seconds here, so you gotta do the thing here.
Absolutely. We're going to take a break right away. Don't go away. I'll be right back after a few words from our sponsors. And remember, you are listening to A Pinch of Basil, and it's always everything better when you add a pinch of basil to it. So stick with us. Don't forget, you can give us a call, 844-790-8255. Hey, everybody. We are back. That's right. You're listening to A Pinch of Basil. Oh, my God. I'm going to tell you what. I am so happy that you guys are listening around the world, all my fans in Australia. You can go to the TuneIn radio app, find us on America Matters Online, or listen live every week at americamatters.us. If you miss any part of the show, you'll find them under the podcast, under the site A Pinch of Basil. Now, we are the Pinch of Basil radio show. We are more than just a podcast, but we have to do it this way. This way, you guys can go ahead and reach out and find out what the heck we're doing, and you can listen to old, wonderful stories. And, oh my God, is that one more time?
It came back again.
He's back. What's with that mic? You don't do that, Craig.
My God. Yeah, Craig has some issues.
I static shocked the board and it turned the mic on again.
Oh
my God. Yeah. And
just like the other day on Jan, it static shocked the board and turned the mic off on you.
Yeah, that's right.
Actually, this is unique because the board actually spit pea soup on Craig. So anyway, we're making a little reference to little horror stories.
That's right.
Oh my God. Listen, I am here with my co-host Janice Hermsen.
Well said.
Hermsen. You know what? Because I say it so quickly every time, so I want to make sure, because God forbid, like my name is so easy to, screw up. You guys only have Basil.
That's right.
Basile.
It's a spice. Yeah,
Basile.
Thank
According
you.
to Siri, it's Basile.
Yeah. Yeah, Basile. But it's actually pretty cool. I got to be honest with you. Listen, I want to announce a couple of things if I can real quick. This weekend, I'm going to be in Wilmington, North Carolina, right after Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be at the Dead Crow Comedy Club, the Dead Crow Comedy Club, Wilmington, North Carolina, Friday, Saturday. Janice, I got to be honest with you. You got family coming over. You're sick of them already. They've only been over for 2 days, but you already want to get rid of them. You're doing anything you possibly can. You want to take them to a comedy show just to get them the hell out of the house, whatever you can possibly do. And this is the greatest release in the world. And then Youngstown, Ohio, listen, December 7th and 8th, I'm going to be at the Funny Farm, the brand new location of the Funny Farm. I'll be there doing a big special show, and I love playing Youngstown. Youngstown is one of those favorite cities of mine, so I will be there. Go to the Funny Farm. You'll see funnyfarmcomedyclub.com, and then check us out. Get your tickets from there, and this is not a huge room, so people, it's going to sell out. All 4 shows will sell out, so as well as the shows at the Dead Crow. Intimate settings, and then we go back to the big shows like we did when we were in Australia and everywhere else. So I'm going to be doing that, but I got to be honest with you, I'm very excited about some of the stuff that we've been doing. Amazon, I want to thank you all very, very much. Our new show is going to be coming out shortly. I can't share too much until I'm allowed to, but we're very, very, very excited. And
can you share when that's supposed to happen, or is that not something you can share?
They tell me sometime the release will be sometime in late March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're very, very excited about that.
Neat.
In pre-production, we had to rewrite 13 episodes and to go ahead and clean them up and update them a little bit and given some of the characters. So,
Basil, do you have writers for that, or are you writing this all yourself? You got writers for that?
I have writers for that that I'm working with, and I'm basically the head writer and a very, very cool cat of a friend of mine. As a matter of fact, we really got to get breaking down to it. I gave myself till after Thanksgiving to get everything done, but the actual scripts, the episodes, they're done. We just had to update them with new information and stuff like that, and punch up a little things that are going on now, what's happening. So we're very, very excited, and there's an element that has never been done before in any type of situation comedy, and we're very excited about that too.
That's great.
It's a little bit different than most people are used to, so we're excited about that. But I have to tell you about the news. There was a death in that I caused. To be honest with you, I was minding my own business, and I hit a deer.
No, not you. You wouldn't do that.
I hit a deer, and I had it coming to him. I caught the deer giving me the hoof. And I had to chase him down with the car, and I got the son of a gun. It went through the woods, over a bridge, and everything, but I caught him. I will not tolerate, deers that are just basically being idiots to me. I just can't handle that. No, I actually got into, and I want to thank the police officer in Stowe, Ohio, who did a great job writing me up real quick and taking care of me. And he said that I had to give the deer the right of way, which really upset me. Yeah. Here, the deer is jaywalking, but the thing is, son of a gun actually jumped over that 4-foot cement divider from the opposite lanes, jumped over, lost control, and where did he jump? Right in front of my car.
Wow.
Here in Nevada, Basile, I think the law reads that you don't try to avoid the deer because you're more likely to crash yourself into a tree or a K-rail in the middle of the road. And I think
Yeah, I actually, to be honest with you, I did try because it was wet pavement. It was cold. It was about 35 degrees. I'm always afraid of black ice in cold certain areas. You lose control. But I slowly, it was almost like coming in slow motion. I guess it's the athlete in me seeing everything coming slow motion. But I was traveling about 60, 65 miles an hour. Oh, and I slammed on the brakes and tilted my car around a little bit and actually just crushed them in the back hind legs and with the front end of the car. And my God, you have no idea how much damage those damn deer can cause to your vehicle.
Yes, I do, though, because I hit a deer too once.
Oh, my God.
It was
ridiculous.
Horrid. It was horrid.
Yeah. After a while, you're like, you got to be kidding me.
Oh, man, this thing just went right up onto the windshield. It was go to the mountain or go over the cliff or hit the deer. And I said, hit the deer.
Well, and I'm sure the deer was very appreciative, Janice.
He's now in another spot. He's not with us anymore, I'm afraid.
No, he became
I did it right.
Type of delicious venison.
That's it.
Someone's plate.
Yep.
You getting ready for Thanksgiving?
We are. We are going to have just a boatload of people in my house, over 20 plus.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
21.
No.
Well, and here you're, yeah, hear that? That's so attractive over a dinner for Thanksgiving.
That's
Craig.
right.
Really
That's right. With the pea soup. We'll serve pea soup with him.
Oh my God. Anyway, what else we got for our audience today, Janice?
Well, do you talk to Alexa or Siri or any of those artificial intelligence things?
I actually, to be honest with you, I got one for my grandmother. I got an Alexa for my
grandmother.
My grandmother, God bless her, 105 years old. And, we've tried to kill her. She just won't die. The woman will not die. We've tried poison, drowning, nothing. So anyway, I bought her an Alexa, and I said, yeah, which is Greek for grandmother. I said, this is Alexa. And in Greek, she asked me, is she Greek? No, she is not Greek. It's a Greek name, but it's not, oh God, So, no, I really don't do too much with stuff like that. I try, but, they're smarter than me, so I kind of stay away from it as much as I possibly can.
Well, they recently came out with in China, a new artificial intelligent broadcaster that debuted on the World Internet Conference Tech Expo.
Wow.
Yeah, very, very creepy, I got to tell you. And in addition to that, in Japan, Japan, China, they all got to compete, right? There's this singer who has been called creepy by some women, and so he has some trouble with relationships. He solved his problem when he married a hologram. Can you believe that? What the heck?
Well, wait a minute. First of all, I mean, how did they meet? Did they meet? Did a shadow introduce them?
I have no idea. He's got some kind of crazy doll that he uses along with it. I mean, this is just creepy stuff. People have gone over the edge as far as I'm concerned. Come on, man. He says he's not going to have that kind of a relationship, but I don't know.
And of course, when you get there's some people who are just hateful and they'll buy you some like little pin cushions and stuff like that because they want you to just pop your friend away. And there's got to be a little bit of respect here. No, I mean, I think it's pretty cool if that's what you want to do.
Come on. His family wouldn't even come to the wedding.
Well, maybe he owed the family money. You got to
He married a hologram. Come on.
Yes.
Who's going to go to that?
Well, again, his best man was his shadow. And I think it's a beautiful thing when you can marry a hologram. And a hologram.
That's just crazy.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
All the stuff that goes on there, marrying a hologram is crazy.
Oh, come on.
Craig, have you ever dated
Your daughter comes home and says, I'm marrying a hologram. What do you say?
Well, first of all, think of the money I'm saving just on the wedding, alone. I said, honey, that's great. Go to Vegas. Here's $5,000. Enjoy yourself and your hologram and go on,
Yeah,
I'm a little bit more concerned. I'm a little bit more concerned about what kind of children they're going to have. The grandchildren are kind of slowly fading out, and
I'm more concerned about how they're going to have children.
Listen,
according to the guy in Japan, he said they're not doing that.
Yeah, sure. Listen, I know what goes on. I've cruised porn. I've seen things. I'm just telling you. If people are getting excited over what's the pornography that with the cartoon stuff.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not familiar with that.
If you know Craig. Yeah, is it anime? Would it be anime stuff?
Porname, anime.
Porname? Are you serious?
Okie dokie. That's out of my area of expertise, guys.
This is getting a little bit gross.
I thought we were a PG
that word is now
going
to be in Merriam-Webster's dictionary next year.
Oh my
God, we're about ready to take off on our second break right now. Go ahead. What was that, Jen?
No, I said we do have to. It's time.
Yeah, it is that time. So keep on listening. You're listening to A Pinch of Basile, the radio show right now. Okay, we're going to be right back. Make sure you follow us. Our guest is coming up. So, we are back, the Pinch of Basile radio show. Don't forget, I am live streaming on Facebook. You can listen on the TuneIn app or any phone or device and search America Matters, or on your computer, go to americamatters.us. And if you want to comment, go to my Basile Fans, that's Basile Fans page, Basile Fans page on Facebook. If you have any questions for me and or my guests, give us a call at 844-790-8255. I can't believe I got all that in one breath.
Did.
That was one breath. You know, how do I do it?
That was really good.
It's mystical.
You must be working out, right?
I am working. Yeah, right. I gained 11 pounds during the hurricane. I gained another 3 when I went to Australia. And now I got to try and get rid of this stuff. So I'm going to have my Thanksgiving meal, and then that, as soon as no leftovers, no nothing, and I'm going to start my diet right on Friday morning. So it's I got to do it strict. But anyway, I got to tell you, I'm really honored, to be quite honest with you. Is our guest on with us?
He is.
All right.
He's on the phone with us.
Actually, that's wonderful. Let me give a little bit of an intro here. Herb Fried. Fried, I got to tell you, started his adult life as an ordained rabbi, became the spiritual leader of the Temple Beth Shalom in Lake, I want to say, Mahopac, New York. Eventually, he resigned his pulpit to become a movie director. He has directed and produced 15 feature films. Thank God. My God, it's wonderful. Most of which have been psychological and spiritual and or social themes. In spite of their commercial categories, he is best known for Graduation Day and Tomboy, as well as his talk thriller Haunts and Child to Man, a story of survival during the Watts riot. He is also the author of, I hope I is it of Bashert?
You can ask him if that's correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And a novel right now, Love, Faith, and a Pair of Pants. I love that title.
Isn't that awesome?
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome on to the Pinch of Basile, Herb. Are you with us?
Yes, I am. It's lovely to hear you talk about Bashert, first of all, which is the other book. The word Bashert is a Yiddish word, which means meant to be or preordained. And it's a story about how you go about finding your soulmate. So that was a book that came out last year, and we're very happy about the outcome of that. But the one today, Love, Faith, and a Pair of Pants, is very different, and I hope your reader is going to like it. Everybody else seems to love it. So, and I'm very pleased to be talking to you about it.
Well, Herb, first of all, you got my respect and love just because my father's name is Herb. My mother's name is Rosemary. Tremendous sense of humor. They called me Basil. So I got to tell you, anytime you can mix a little bit of the spice humor in there with me, I'm all about it. So it's great to have you on the show.
May I call you Basile?
Oh, you can call. Well, the funny thing is, the reason why there is an E at the end of my name.
Only Basile I know. So.
Yeah, it's my mom actually named me when I was born Basile, Vasile. But because it was the height of the Cold War with Russians, and it was a couple of famous Basiles that got a lot of press, everyone thought that I was Russian. So my mom goes, you know what? I'm going to change his name to Basil. And she took the B and replaced it the V, but she forgot the E at the end. And I'm like, so now people call me, is it Basile? Is it Basile? Is it? I'm like, oh, for God's sakes, it's what the hell you cook with. It's basil, for God's sakes.
What I'm loving when I hear you talk is your accent. Because everybody who talks in my book, in Love, Faith, and Pair of Pants, has a different accent. And we got a wonderful review just about a few days ago. It was appeared on Amazon, and it said that Love, Faith, and a Pair of Pants is really Catcher in the Rye with a thick Yiddish accent. And I've got accents all over the place. So, you could probably use some readings of the book.
Absolutely. Well, can I, if you don't mind me asking, you went from being a rabbi to a movie director, then author. I mean, can you just tell us a little bit how that came to, how you wound up doing that, how you went from, I quit law school to become a comedian. And then for you, though, to go ahead.
That makes a lot of sense. Everybody understands that. That's called logic.
Yeah, well, you could see the transition automatically right there. My father, when I told my dad, I said, Dad,
I'll tell you. I early in my youth, I suppose, I began to think about religion, and I favored Judaism because that's what I was born into. So when I went to school, I went to college in New York, in Columbia, and I studied also, in addition to my classes at Columbia, at the Jewish Theological Seminary. Mm-hmm. And I was just wrapped and fascinated by the professors, the instructors there, and all of the studies that I took and the people that I spoke to were just absolutely inspirational. So I finally, when I graduated, I got a pulpit in Lake Mahopac. By the way, you pronounced it exactly right. Okay. Lake Mahopac. You pronounced the Indian way, Mahopac. Okay. But it was a small congregation north of New York City, and it was a lovely group of people, and I did all the things that a clergyman does, and you're dealing with all the life cycles, with birth, with sickness, with giving birth, with death, and it was too much for me. Mm-hmm. And finally, after 3 years of it, I went to see my professor, Abraham Joshua Heschel, who was a saintly and a brilliant man. And he said, "How could you possibly leave the rabbinate?" And what I said was, the first thing that came to mind was a poem by the Indian poet Tagore. And he said, "I know that God respects me when I work, but he loves me when I sing." And I looked at my professor and I said, "I know God respects me because I'm working, but I haven't sung in a long time." And so I felt I had to leave the rabbinate. And what I did, what I wanted to do, I studied dance with Martha Graham. I studied acting at the Actors Workshop, started to study film, became fascinated with it, and that's what I did for the last 35 years.
Wow.
And
Unbelievable.
so that was my life.
I got to tell you, I love when people take a chance and do something different, that they're out of their comfort level, and you went and you did that. But are you going to be directing anything else anytime soon?
There's a possibility. My previous book, Bashert, which is a love story, actually it's a kind of what I call a transcendental love story, because it deals with the questions of, for a couple who find their soulmate, really find their soulmate, and build a life together, create a life together. What happens when one of them passes away? When you look at someone and you think that this is going to be the one you're going to spend all of your life with, and you do, the terrible thing that could happen, and does happen, is that one of them dies. We're not born together, and we don't die together. So the question is, what do you do after that? So that's what that book deals with, and that's the one that's currently being negotiated. So that may be coming on. And the new one, Love, Faith, and a Pair of Pants, just came out. So it's too new for me to know.
Sure. And I think, for both of those titles, and if you do create a movie, I think there should be a part of a very large Greek man in there. I'm just saying, by the name of Basile. I'm just going to throw that out there. But anytime you want me to audition for you, I will. Just tell me where.
Well, everything is possible. I'm not sure we could go with the name Basile, but, we can finesse that. And who knows? This may be your key to success. Although you're successful now. What am I saying?
No. Listen, for me, listen, the Greeks gave the world everything. We gave the world everything from architecture through zoology, through art, democracy. And what are we known for now? Yogurt. So I really think I have a lot to give to you, to be quite honest with you.
You got to start writing. I'm sorry. You're a writer.
Oh my God! When you watch your movies, are you a lot like me? I mean, when I watch a special that I tape, or if I even watch myself on tape, it could be at a theater or at a club, and I want to find. Do you critique yourself? Do you always find yourself always like, man, I think I could have done that better? Do you ever do that?
This past weekend, I was on TV in San Diego, and they sent me a copy of my section, and I was horrified. I don't look that bad. I don't look that old. I don't. Well, what were they trying to do to me? Why didn't they write me? Whatever. Yeah, seeing yourself and hearing your own words is very, very difficult. Even when everybody else around you and everybody else who sees it tells you, "Hey, this is that was really good. I enjoyed reading it. I enjoyed hearing you." But we're all our own worst critics.
Oh, isn't that the damn truth? I've watched myself, and very, very few times have I ever been satisfied. I everything from fluctuation of weight to my hair was crazy that day. For me, it's been nuts, and especially now we're getting ready for Thanksgiving, and now being a Greek. It's a lot like the Jews. We have our specific foods, and yeah. And I got to be honest with you, I'm very excited because we're going to have the traditional Thanksgiving lamb, moussaka, pastizo, dolmades, panakopita, triopitas, feta cheese, and kalamata olives, just like the Pilgrims. We're going to be having that this Thursday, and I hope that you're going to enjoy yourself with some great foods that you got.
Panakopita for me, that's one of my favorite dishes. What's not to love? You and I both have the weight problems, but in the other direction. I mean, I look at myself and I look like a skeleton.
Oh my God!
We got to arrange some changes here.
Well, anytime you want some of my weight, you just let me know. I'll send it to you, and I'll even pay the postage, to be quite honest with you. So, but I gotta tell you, we're gonna shortly we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring you back on our next segment, because I gotta tell you, I could talk to you all day. You remind me the way you talk. I'm from Long Island, New York originally. My father owned a diner. We're Greek. It's the law, and I gotta tell you, you remind me of some of my father's customers that always pull me to the side and tell me a little bit of a story. But folks, we got it right now, and we're going to get back to Mr. Fried in just a second, and we got to do that little sponsor thing because they're the ones who are paying the bills. But we're going to be right back with Herb Fried, and the movie director, author, is one hell of a wonderful man. I just love this. But we're going to be right back with a pinch of basil, so stay tuned. We'll be right back at you. Hey, everybody, so glad you can join us on A Pinch of Basil. I am your host of this wonderful radio show, A Pinch of Basil. I'm here with my very special guest, author and movie director, Herb Fried, who actually told me he is going to make me the star of his next movie, and I'm so flattered that you went that far as to make me the star of this.
You're not presumptuous, are you, Basil?
No, not at all. And the thing is, the man can tell talent. He understands talent, and I'm all about the talent. Always have been about the talent, and I got to be honest with you. I'm just very flattered, and I accept.
You should be. You have all the ingredients. You have all the elements. There's one thing I'm not entirely sure of do you believe everything a producer tells you?
Absolutely.
And if so,
absolutely, I do. Especially if the producers, the guy paying me. Oh, are you kidding me? I love you. I will say anything. Yes. Oh my God.
There you go.
This is a great question, and I gotta ask this because I know I can't. But do you ever think that you'll retire completely? I mean, just that's it. I'm done. I just want to sit in the sun, go to Miami, and live there for the rest of my life and be done with it. Do you think you'll ever retire completely?
Oh, I don't think that's possible for me anyway. And I mean, I don't know how you do that. I've always been used to finding something that'll make me laugh, make me cry, that keeps my interest. I just don't think I could lie back. And what I find is that, and this is what got me into writing, is when my movie career began to slow down and my wife became very sick, and I could no longer take the time away. I sat at the computer, and I get up early in the morning, so I sit down and then I write a line. And I didn't understand it. I wrote another line, and it made me laugh. And I wrote another line, and I started to cry. And I loved that whole feeling. I was awakening everything in my brain and in my heart, and I was able to talk about it. There were people around, and my wife was very sick, but I was writing. And that was just a great outlet for me. So, and I'm also probably not nearly as gregarious as you are. I mean, you're charming. You love to to talk to people. You love to laugh, and I'm kind of I'll be the guy standing next to you, whispering into your ear. So maybe we should go together. Who knows?
Who knows? Absolutely. It's kind of funny because I actually take a hack at writing, and as a stand-up comic, and because my character, my stand-up is very character-driven. With different characters I break into and voices and all that type of stuff, I write the same way. And it's I like when the pace of the person who is writing, that you can read it, the way that person would discuss, would talk. And I like actually creating that, I guess, the theater of the mind, because when you read, that's all it is. It's theater of the mind. You're actually reading this and you're putting everything and says, oh my God, this is unbelievable. And when you can actually go ahead and create these characters that come alive, who these characters are, and you're laughing and you're crying and you sit there and you shake your head like, wow, how can that happen, and whatever. I love writing stories about my family. I love writing stories that I can bring to stage. One of the things I always tell people, I love different types of foods that, like, for example, that have something to do with either a holiday or some type of an event. And one of my favorite things is there's this Greek thing that we have, and it's called koliva. And koliva is something that you usually, and it's the most morbid thing that you can eat because someone has to die for you to eat koliva. Okay.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst.
Too much of an appetite.
Yeah.
I think you just ruined my appetite for that day.
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't think I'm going to do too much of that. But when you talk about writing what you know, that's precisely what you have to do. And people,
sure.
In my character, in the first book, in the one that I wrote last year, started out as a rabbi, left the rabbinate, became a film director, and so people have asked me, wait a minute, is this biography or is this fiction?
Yeah.
And my wife came up with a perfect response. All biography is fiction, and all fiction is biography, because you can only write about what you know.
But
when it comes to writing, you don't want to tell everything about your life, so you have to dodge it a little bit. But it's all if you follow it's just that all biography is fiction, all fiction is a biography. You write about what you know, the things that make you laugh, that make you cry, that make you want to that make you want to just meet somebody and just be with them. That's the glory of it. That's the beauty of writing. But getting back to the accents, I found in Love, Faith, and a Pair of Pants that there are five connected stories, and in each story you meet another character, and they're all absolutely lovable. I mean, in one you meet Bertha. Bertha is the mother, and came to America in the 20s, and she doesn't quite speak English, and her one dream in life is to become an American citizen. And she has this wonderful accent. And her son, who's a rabbi, says, you since Dad died, why don't you come and live with me in California? And she says, because I just have a new temple that I'm going to be officiating at. And she said, I would love to live with you in that temple. I have never seen the temple, but I'd love to live in it. And I had to say, Ma, you don't live in a temple. I mean, but but the accents are all just real, and from my memory and things that I hear, or just things that I'll hear on the subway, and that's the joy I find of writing.
Wow! Did you when you write for your characters, do you plot it out beforehand? Do you come up with a storyline that you plot out? Like, I have to have everything in front of me. When I write, I have the big whiteboard, and the whiteboard, I put notes here and notes there, and then I try and string like a bunch of activities and characters and what they do for a living and all that, and try and cross and do different things. Do you ever try and do something different? Because it always makes me think outside the box that I'm not used to. So I always want to find out, and once in a while when I do that, I get the opportunity to basically come up with again, different concepts, different ideas, different characters, what they do for a living. What do you do to really come up with some juicy characters? Do you base them off of people you already know?
Well, you take elements of the people that you know, but you have to structure it. I mean, I can't. Coming from the film business, you don't write a word until you know precisely how it's going to end, and
right.
So you have to create your structure and then watch it build and build, then sort of subside slightly and then build again. So with that as a discipline, all the writing that I do follows a pattern, and what I'm interested in doing, it was both in film and in the books that I write, is passion. And how do I build up the passion without letting it leak? And how do I give it the most powerful impact I possibly can? And that, for me, is the greatest challenge of writing. And when you find it, I mean, you want to get out of bed in the middle of the night and start dancing, because it's such a wonderful thing when things just are put together, when they fit. Just a perfect fit. The beginning, the middle, the end, and at the beginning, there's you kind of acquaint yourself with everything. The middle is all the passion and all the action and everything that goes with, and then there's the crisis, with everything is frightened. But at the end, you come to a conclusion that everybody can sigh and feel good about, and that's structure. And for me, I couldn't imagine doing it any other way.
Have you ever written anything that was basically left people like, ugh, what a way to end this story, that it's just so sad? Have you ever, because I like sometimes throwing the curveball. It could be that way when my stand-up or something, a short story. I mean, I've been published plenty enough times where I've done certain things, and I've sometimes left it where there's a moral to the story and or there's a lesson to be learned as well, that you can go ahead and create something that it just left people empty, and they're saying, well, what happened to this character? Have you ever thought about writing a movie that way, or did you always want a happy ending at the end?
Oh no, my God! If you've seen any of my movies, there's always some endings that are really very brutal. But I found in Love, Faith, and a Pair of Pants, there are 5 stories, and the first one is sort of touches the heart. The second one is hilarious.
Yes, it is.
And the third one will make you cry. And it's a story of how, without giving away too much, it's a story of the young rabbi who meets a young girl, a young woman. She's this Broadway star, and she's absolutely beautiful. And he's so taken with her, and he's so happy that she's not Jewish, but she wants to meet the rabbi. She needs to. And then he goes to meet her, and she just seems to be constantly picking up the phone and saying, okay. And they go out to dinner, and she gets a phone call, and he doesn't know what it is, but she looks very upset. And she comes back to the table, and she says, okay, Rabbi, tell me everything you know. He says, I don't know what you're talking about. She says, come on, I don't have just please, tell me what you know. He said, well, what I know? I mean, I could tell you what my ideas are, but not that I know it. And she said, he said, if I tried to tell you everything, that could take a lot of time.
And you know what? I hate to break in, but we got to go here. We got 30 seconds.
Have a lot of time.
Yeah, we got 30 seconds.
Herb,
Sorry,
listen,
guys.
we're going to, it's okay, listen, and Herb, I'm going to have you back on because I got to tell you something. You have been wonderful, just a wonderful guest, and I think all of our people who are watching right now loved it. I want to thank you all so much. Herb, thank you.
Go to Amazon and find Love, Faith, and a Pair of Pants.
Absolutely. Don't forget to listen every week on Tuesdays from 6 to 7 New York City time. We can be heard all around the world on americamatters.us if you're using the iTunes app. Just check us out. Go to Basile Fans. Check us out. Love you. Bye.